Millie the Mouth by Freddie French. It was bright and sunny, but too cold to go out, so the twins were indoors just lying about, playing buses and trains, their favourite game. But today it was boring, just the same. "I'm getting a drink," said Sarah to Paul. She parked her bus in a stall by the wall and straightened her skirt and walked down the hall. When she got back with her juice in one hand, she said, "Paul, there's something I don't understand." Pushing her bus across a toy bridge, she said, "How long have we had a mouse in the fridge?" "We don't have a mouse in the fridge," said he, guiding his train past a make-believe tree. "We do, though," said Sarah, fixing a flat. "Come on, I'll show you. It's as big as a cat." She opened the door to the fridge and said, "See, it's there in the corner, clear as can be." "You're right," said Paul. "What's it doing in there?" The mouse turned around with its nose in the air and said, "You children are very rude. I'm here because I'm looking for food. I'm not an it, I'm a girl called Millie, and close your mouths, you both look silly." "Mice don't talk," said Sarah to Paul. "I don't understand this at all. "Of course I talk. I'm a talking pro. I'm not an ordinary mouse, you know. You may have noticed I'm bigger than most. In fact, I'm the biggest from coast to coast, and my great big stomach has nothing in it. I've got to eat something this very minute." "I don't know what we have," said Paul. "I don't think we have much at all." "Let's make a chicken pot pie," said Millie. "I'm a good cook. I'll make us a dilly. Get me a bowl and the right ingredients, and in no time at all, I'll be feeding us." "But what goes into a chicken pot pie?" "Ah," said Millie, "that is why I like to make chicken pot pie. Everything goes in a chicken pot pie. I'll use whatever you have in the house. I'm a very, very unpredictable mouse." Then Sarah said, "We should tell Mom." But Millie replied, "She'll spoil the fun. And anyway, she's very busy. We shouldn't interrupt her, should we?" Said Sarah. "Maybe you're right. It might be a nice surprise tonight for her to find dinner already done. Let's get going. This'll be fun." "Do raisins go in a chicken pot pie?" "Of course they do," was Millie's reply. "And look, a bag of potato chips. This is great. I'm licking my lips." "Do potato chips really go with chicken?" "Believe me, Sarah, you can stick in whatever you want. Look, here's some rice, and bananas too. They'll be nice." So Millie kept on gathering stuff. When it comes to pies, the only thing tough is making sure you have enough stuff. "Now here are some peas and chocolate sauce." "Chocolate?" asked Paul. "That sounds gross." "Quiet," said Millie. "I'm the boss." But Sarah said, "You can't just toss in anything." To which Millie replied, "That's the thing. Nothing's denied. You can throw anything in, and you should. That's what makes it deliciously good. So pass me the vinegar and some jam, and mix the pudding with the ham, and don't forget the vanilla ice cream." She paused as if she had entered a dream, and then she bellowed a happy scream, "Kids, we make a terrific team. I'll add whatever you have in the house. I'm a very, very unpredictable mouse." "But hold on a second, Millie," said Paul. "I don't like vinegar, not at all." But Millie ignored him, continuing on, "Get me some spinach and a nice fat prawn, and then a spoon of that apple crumble. The thing is, Paul, after we jumble it all together, the tastes will blend, and the vinegar taste, in the end, will simply disappear, my friend." Then Sarah said, "Ice cream and ham, and spinach and peas, and strawberry jam? That doesn't sound good. That sounds disgusting." But Millie said, "Don't be so distrusting. I know what I'm doing. I've done it before. All we need is a little more. Believe me, we're almost ready to make it. First we'll mix it, and then we'll bake it. And then you'll see, you'll say, 'My, what a scrumptious, tasty chicken pot pie.' So give me whatever you have in the house. I'm a very, very unpredictable mouse." Well, pretty soon the mixture was done. "I hope you're ready to have some fun," said Millie. "Put the bowl on the table, and make sure everything's nice and stable." But Sarah took Paul aside and said, "I'm not sure Millie's quite right in the head. I know that neither of us can cook," she said, giving Paul a puzzled look. "But how can you make a chicken pot pie without any chicken? It's not going to fly." Then Millie said, "Sarah, get me a spoon. I'll mix this stuff around and soon we'll have ourselves a feast and a half." She began to stir and began to laugh. "I love to make food," she said with a roar, stirring faster and faster and more, and the bowl started spinning round and round. But what if the bowl should fall to the ground? And then it happened, to the children's horror. It flew off the table and through the door and landed face down on the living room floor. "Oh, no!" cried Sarah and Paul. "Oh, no! I don't believe it. It can't be so. This is the worst things could possibly go." "I must admit it's a mess and a half," said Millie. "It's a terrible gaffe. I got too excited, I confess." "But how will we ever clean up this mess?" asked Paul. "I mean, it's just a guess, but I bet it will take a week, no less." "Now don't get discouraged. Don't be sad," said Millie, "and certainly don't get mad. I've never been one to grouch and grouse. I'm a very, very unpredictable mouse. When things go really, really wrong, I try not to be sad for long. You see, when you cry, things only get wetter. But when you smile, they begin to get better." "That's the secret of things," said Millie. "So let's all smile together, shall we?" Paul looked at Sarah and Sarah at Paul. They weren't sure this would help at all. But Millie looked them straight in the eye and said, "Let me tell you why things will get better if you try. I can smile as big as a house. I'm not an ordinary mouse. Look what happens to the shape of my mouth when I smile. First it goes to the south, and then heads north and east and west, and gets so big I can digest any size of horrible mess." And as she smiled, her words came true, and her mouth just grew and grew and grew until it filled the entire room. Then faster than fast, faster than zoom, her mouth closed in on the chicken pot pie and swallowed it whole, like a frog eats a fly. "That solved 2 problems at once," she said. "The mess is gone, and I've been fed. And just so you know, it was delicious, and much more filling than 1,000 fishes. But now I think it's time to go. It's getting pretty late, you know. Thank you so much for the wonderful pie. Thank you so much. Goodbye, goodbye." "Wait," said Sarah and Paul together. "Please at least tell us whether you're ever coming back again." "Oh, probably," said Millie, "but then it's hard to say exactly when. I'm a very, very, very unpredictable mouse." The end.
Who's got the biggest little smile in the country? Who's got the smile that always lights up the house? Who's got the biggest little